Hi everybody, Steve here again on my Global Dating channel. I want to do this video solely on the topic of why going abroad to look for a wife or a girlfriend, it depends what your goals are, can be a solution to your problems here in the United States. Because I know a lot of guys like myself who are good, decent looking or good looking, have things going for them, good job, good income, a decent nice guy, personality, educated. I mean, there's so many guys that have it all that can't get dates here. I've seen them. I come across them at the gym, at work, and it's an epidemic. I mean, you look at dating boards, like on the internet dating, some of them have message boards. They're full of guys saying how they can't find somebody. There's some guys who do, but it seems like to me there's more guys who can't. And it's just a hard dating environment. It's really hard to get a quality girl here and one that looks good, height, weight. It's hard to get one that's not overweight because 75% of people are overweight in America. So for men, we compete against each other for such a small pool of women that aren't fat or overweight. It's really sad. And so it's very competitive in America. So when you go overseas, right here's, so I'm going to get up to my point. When you go overseas, in most of these countries like Latin America and Eastern Europe and Russia, you have things working for you in your favor. Okay, number one, there's a shortage of men. There's articles that I could, if anybody messaged me, I can show you from universities that talk about. One of them talks about the shortage of men in some of the Latin American countries. And I think it was a Harvard article, I'm not sure, but it talks about how a lot of men die early, because of the narco wars. So there's a shortage of men. And there's a theory about Russia's shortage due to the war, like so many men died during the war. I'm not sure if that would, yeah, I mean, I guess that could affect it, but I do know for a fact, you can look it up yourself on, there's articles, just Google shortage of men. I mean, yeah, Google shortage of men in Russia or in Ukraine or any of those countries, or in Colombia. Just you'll pull up stuff. It's a fact. And so a lot of women can't even get a guy in these countries because there's just there's such a shortage. I think it's 20%. It's quite significant in a lot of these countries. So, but you notice it when you step off the plane and you visit these places. There definitely seems to be more women than men, and there are articles, like I said, that if you Google it, there's lots of articles that write about this truth. Secondly, what works in your favor, okay? I mean, it's great to be it's great for you to be the product that's in short supply, right? That's awesome. In America, by the way, it's just the opposite, okay? In most cities in America, there's anywhere from 10 to 15, sometimes 20% more men than women. Social psychologist Jean Twenge talks about that in her book. I should have had that ready before I talked about this, but she says there's like 1.2 1.2 men for every one woman is what she says in her book. If anybody wants me to, I can send you that quote. It's easy for me to pull it. I have it on my records here. And she says it's men that should be worried in America about the shortage of women. That's what she says. So it's true, and there are charts that show this. So now if you take the overall number from 18 to 60, yeah, it doesn't show up. But, well, actually it does show up, but not as badly. Okay, not as badly. But when you shorten it to 20 to like 46 years old, and there are sources that do that. When you shorten it to the dating age, not grandma's age, okay, when you shorten it to the normal dating 20s, 30s, and 40s, especially early 40s on down, you'll see that there's a shortage of women, okay? So now in these other countries, though, so you got that working for you in your favor in most of these other countries. Secondly, these women in other countries are thin, so most of them are really good looking. And not only are they thin, okay, most of them, they dress really feminine, and they dress to impress. Women in these countries dress to impress men. American women don't care about impressing men. They dress to be comfortable. They don't care as much about looking sexy or looking feminine. Women in America, and that's not a put down, that's just fact. I mean, if you don't believe me, Google images of Russian women or Latin women and then compare them to typical photos, of American women. I mean, it's just a fact. It's not a put down. I don't mean it that way. It's just a fact. So they dress feminine and really sexy. They look great. They always, before they step out the door, they're always fixing themselves up. One guy talked about here, like he talked about how in Florida, where there's so many Latin women, when he saw the Latin women that were new coming from their country, before they became Americanized, that they would show up at the airport at 6 a.m. looking hot and sexy, all dressed up, and the hair, everything to the T. And you look on the other side, the luggage carousel, where there were some Americans, women. The American women were in their pajamas or warm-ups, slippers. So I give that as an example. Like, foreign women will not step out the door without looking good, and that I kind of admire and respect that. So that's another difference. And the thing is, the advantage that you have as an American guy too, a Western guy, is that it's not about our money or our green card. People throw that out there, but when you look at it, like the United States, if you look at the facts, United States Citizenship Immigration Services, they did a study on that about why this was Filipino focused, why Filipino women marrying American men, and they did interviews, and this is a study commissioned by Congress, by the way, to study the mail order bride business is what it was for. But because of that commission study, this report came out. And in it, the girls said that they liked American guys or Western guys because we have a good reputation for not beating up women, for not being alcoholics and irresponsible with money. American guys, Western guys care about their family. They really want to take care of their family, and they're pretty responsible. They believe in working hard. Believe it or not, in these other third world countries, the men don't necessarily have that mindset. Most of them kind of don't. They're not looking to settle down and get serious. They're players because they can be. They have so many options in women that men in these countries can afford to be players because if one girl doesn't like what they do, they can move on and get another gorgeous, thin, sexy woman just like that. In America, men cannot do that. If an American guy has a good-looking, nice, quality girl, he can't just leave her and think he's going to pick up another one. I mean, look, only 12%. Let me reverse that. Only 25% of American women are height weight proportionate. Of that 25%, only 12% are single and available. So if a guy breaks up with a good-looking, sexy, thin, hot girlfriend, he can't just go find another one. There's only 12% of them out there. It's unlikely. This is stiff competition in America for those women. You can't just get another one. But they can in other countries. And that's one of the reasons why they're perpetual players. So foreign women, like that study referred to, what the Filipina said, that we have like foreign women see us American guys as good guys, to put it in a nutshell, okay, and responsible. We're guys that want to get married. They see us as guys that, and we do. In general, we like to be married, and we don't cheat. The other thing is that they know that American guys don't cheat that much compared to their own guys, okay? Some women are going to say, oh, yes, you do. American guys cheat, but hey, you guys don't know how common cheating is in these other countries. It's commonplace. It's more people, definitely more people cheat, and even on a regular basis than don't. The men, as far as the men cheat on their women. It's accepted. It's kind of accepted in these countries. In Russia, Eastern Europe, and Latin America, and Asia. So they know American Western guys, we're not programmed to just cheat. If we cheat, it's once in a rare blue moon. It's not like a repetitive problem. Okay, so we treat women better, and we believe in the family and being responsible, take care of our families. The guys over there don't. So when you hear stories about, oh, they just want the bigger, better deal, green card, money, or a better life, whatever, that's not the main. That could be part. I'm not going to say that has zero part. Because all women the world over would rather be with somebody with more money, resources, and they want to better their life, and you cannot blame them for wanting to better their life. So even if I know that, I don't hold it against foreign girls and make it a reason for me not to go to a foreign country and get a wife or a girlfriend. If I was that girl, I'd want to better my life too. So I'm not going to hold that against them, but most of them, it's not even about that. Most of them aren't looking for a foreign husband. By far, they're not. I won't go into the information out there. I could, but I'm not going to do that right now. But there's evidence out there that most women are not looking to escape their country. I'm sorry, that goes against what people think, but there's a lot of middle-class girls, tons of middle-class girls in other countries that are doing just fine. But the reason why they would go for an American guy instead of a guy from their home country is the reasons I just explained to you. There's a lot of logical reasons other than the idea of their wanting to escape their country or come to America. No, there's other reasons, like I just mentioned, faithfulness and treating women what we treat girls well. Western guys have a reputation. We do. And so so there you go. That's why. So these are reasons, guys, I'm telling you why you can do so well abroad. They're logical reasons. And what else was I going to say? And they're just a good match for American guys, because I think Western guys are prefer women that are nurturing, feminine, or that have a natural nature to take care of their family, cook for their family and their men. Most American women don't do that, I guess because they work. I'm not going to go about knocking that too much. I mean, today people have to work. I mean, it takes two incomes, so but this foreign women have, and more, I do know for a fact, they have a really strong propensity to want to take care, be nurturing, and cook for their men and their family, and so and they just more thought. I think they're just more thoughtful in general, with men. So I think it's a good match. You don't see, what you don't see is foreign men wanting to marry or be with American women. It happens, yes, but it's very little compared to vice versa. I mean, almost all foreign women want to be with American men for the reasons I mentioned, but and I've learned, because I've been abroad, I've talked to men. Okay, they say, what I hear from foreign men is that American women are too masculine, too aggressive, and they're just not feminine, and they don't, and they're too, like, I guess foreign men are kind of machismo, right? We all know how that is. I mean, these cultures and some of these third world countries, it's very masculine cultures, and you have this machismo attitude, and American women can't handle that, and foreign guys know that. They know how American women would just be so impossible to deal with on that level alone. The way that foreign guys are. So it's not a good match. And like I said, most foreign guys I know have no interest in dating American women. So I'm not going to say bad things or put down American women or anything like that. I'm just saying factually that's what I was told. That's all I'm saying. That's what I was told when I talked to foreign guys. That was the general answer I got. So it's a good match for American guys, foreign girls. Not so good match for foreign men and American women. So anyways, so that's it. I guess hopefully I covered that, and I will go on to another subject. Thanks for listening.